Hi everybody, and it's good to see you all again. It's good to see all your smiling faces. I hope you're keeping safe and, for something to do in these times where we're all stuck at home and not able to go out, I'm going to put together another lesson for you. So before we begin, check out my website. There's lots of information on there. You can see prints, you can see paintings. Also, there's a link there to my online art school where you can learn to paint like me. And also, you can click on the banner up there that will pop out and that will take you directly to the website. Okay, so let's get working on this, shall we? Now, also, just to mix it up a little bit, and I don't normally do this, but I'm going to be working from a printed photograph. This is Augusta National Golf Club, and I printed this out just a few minutes ago. If you can, try and print size for size. I'm going to be working on a 12 by 16 inch panel, photograph 12 by 16 inches. It does help if you can do that. It's not, imperative, of course, because I don't normally do it. In fact, I work usually from a tablet, but I just wanted to try something a little bit different. So the first thing to do now is to add some of the shadows or some of the darker areas to this group of trees here. I'm going to do that with the Tree and Texture Series 3, size 3/8, available from my website. Check out the pop-up there. That will give you a link directly to the website. And all we're going to do is I've used a glaze of sap green and ivory black and some liquid. And I'm going to do, as you've seen me do hundreds of times before, no doubt, we're going to put just a splattering of darks within that. Just starting to add the texture. So the next step with this set of trees here is to put in some of those tree trunks, some of the branches. We're going to use the Series 1 size 0, also available from as part of my professional set on the website. So we're looking for really thin brush marks here. Now this might be slightly too dark. That's not too bad. Just going to do the vertical trunks first of all. So just trying to get them in roughly the right place. I'm not worrying too much about them being absolutely perfect, or I should say in precisely the right place. Now, one thing I will say is I'm not trying to do every single branch at this stage, just trying to get a rough outline of where the tree actually is, and then what we'll do is we'll build up on the foliage, and then once that's done we'll go and add some more branches where we can see them in the photograph. Right, so the next step is to put on the foliage. We're going to do that with the Series 4 size 1. So I'm going to use the corner of the fan brush. I think we're going to test this out first of all. We may well find another way that's probably a bit more effective, but we don't know yet until we try. So I'm just going to use the corner, and I'm going to, like I did with the darker shades within here, just going to try and get a splattering of foliage. Now the reason we're using this brush over the tree and foliage brush for these upper reaches of the tree is because we don't want, or we want the little brush marks to be more localized. And if we use the tree and texture series, then you're just going to have less control over where those brush marks go. Right, so now I'm going to just darken up some of these branches a little bit more. Some of these areas are quite light, and we could also add a few more trunks and branches as well within that. Once we've gone in with this darker colour, I'm then going to add some lighter tones. Okay, so now we're going to put the highlights over the area of trees. Going to continue with the same brush, Series 4 size 1. Now really, with this technique, what I'm trying to do is get the smallest little brush marks that I can. So these are really, really small. I'm literally just touching the panel with the tip of the brush, just the corner there, and they're really small. And that's what's going to allow us to keep that more of a photorealistic look by keeping these brush strokes as small as possible. Okay, so we're pretty much finished with the main body of those trees there. One of the things I'm going to do just before I finish is to just do some highlighted branches just within some of these areas here and highlighted trunks. I'm not going to do the entire trunks yet because we need to do some of the background grasses first. So I'm just going to do some of the ones that are higher up, and then I think that's going to be it for this video. Going to go to the rigger, size 0, series 1. And I'm going to mix up the right colour and just put in some of these lighter branches. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. Still a lot left to do, but we've almost got those trees finished. There may well be some highlights and things to do once that's dry, but I think before we do finish that, we are going to start working on some of the grasses and the flowers in the front of this beautiful golf hole at Augusta National. Now, just one thing. It's difficult to really get an idea from this camera here that is on the painting exactly how much of a stipple there is in the brushwork. So let me give you a close-up look at that now. Now I don't know whether you can really see this, but if I come down at that angle, you can see there. Can you see how that's stippled? And actually that's quite important to get the strength of colour over those darker tones. So when you're doing your trees, just bear that in mind. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of stipple. We don't want too much of impasto or of an impasto effect, because that means it looks a little bit less real. I think there's a fine line between it looking real and not. So just bear that in mind, and well, I'll see you in the next lesson. Don't forget to check out my website, shopmichaeljamessmith.com, where you can buy my brush set. There's also a link via that to my lessons if you want to be able to paint like this. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe. Bye for now, everybody.